looking at the Earth. Can anybody tell me what we studied in the last class? What was the discussion about? I don't see any hands up. Raise your hand and I'll call you.
What's she asking?
So if you look on your screen on the lower part, there is a place for different emojis. So there's one for the hand. Okay, Afolabi Michael, you have the floor.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
In the last class, we talked about the scope of geography. Please, can you hear me, ma?
I can hear you.
Okay, ma.
Well, I can no longer hear you.
In the last class, we talked about the importance of physical geography.
Okay, importance of physical geography.
Of studying physical geography
Okay.
to national development.
Okay. Okay. Can we have somebody else? Wisdom. Thank you for
Good
that.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
In our last class, we talked about the introduction to physical geography.
Okay.
We talked about the definition, the scope, and the content, ma. And we defined physical process and patterns of the lithosphere. Can you hear me, ma?
That is a bit sketchy. I no longer hear you well.
Hello, ma.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Oh, yeah. I said that we defined physical geography, that it's concerned with the process and patterns of the atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and the lithosphere. Hello, ma.
Okay, very good.
And then
I can hear you. I got that. All right. So,
okay.
Yes, there was one thing I was hoping you would touch on, and that is the four spheres. So the biosphere, the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, and the lithosphere. If you have your hand up, you can put your hands down now. About in the last class. Today we'll be starting with the lithosphere. So today's topic has to do with the lithosphere. And for the lithosphere, we'll be looking at the Earth. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the PowerPoint, and then we'll go through the lecture. This PowerPoint is already posted to the LMS. So I believe you all have access to the LMS now. You can download a copy of the PowerPoint from the LMS. So let me try to share my screen. Okay, can everyone see my screen now?
Yes,
Yes,
I can.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. So we are looking at the Earth, and we'll be talking about the Earth crust, types of rocks, and the process of weathering. So what you have on this slide is an image, a picture, I'll call it, of the Earth and its components. There are three main components of the Earth. We have the Earth crust, which is at the top. We have the mantle, which is in the middle, and we have the core, which is the innermost parts, basically. So depending on how you're thinking about this, you can think of an orange, for example. An orange is round. So the middle point of the orange is what we would call the core. A layer outside of that middle is the mantle, and then the external parts, which you would peel if you want to drink an orange, is your crust. And so in this image, you see that the crust extends from 0, which is from the top where we stand on, to about 100 kilometers from that surface. So it's about 100 kilometer thick. That's the crust. Now, below the crust, we have the mantle, which you see here. I'm using my cursor to just highlight it. And then after the mantle, we have the core. The core is divided into 2 parts. You have the outer core, and then you have the inner core. So in this module, we are going to be describing this outer layer of the earth. We're going to be talking about the landforms that we can find on the surface of the earth, especially the rocks we have and the process of weathering. Are we together so far?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
talking about the crust, I've said the crust is the outermost layer of the earth, and it's actually a thinner layer compared with the other 2 layers that you have below the crust. It's about 17 kilometers in thickness, but it's not uniform across the earth. So what this means is that some places would have below 17 kilometers. Some might have maybe slightly above, but on average, it's about 17 kilometers thick. And the crust it covers the entire earth. So whether you have land